Hello and welcome to the first ever 20th episode of Whoniverse. You're here with me, Jamie.
And me, Lewis.
Brian didn't even bother coming.
He's not even here, is he?
What a loser. Dum de dum de dum de dum de dum 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 de dum de dum de dum de dum 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 dum. Whoniverse.
Got a bit musical there, Jamie.
Thank you very much. Anything new with you since last week?
No, not particularly. Oh yeah, new job, I suppose.
Oh, you got a new job?
I did get a new job, yeah.
So what does that mean for the future of the podcast?
It means there is no change whatsoever. I will still be here, unlike Brian.
Ninja Brian.
Ninja Brian can take his place.
I've actually, I was listening to the podcast. I think I'm up to, because I'm re-listening to the podcast. I'm up to, I think it's episode 4, and it's the one where Charity turns up, and it's sort of the first of many where Brian doesn't turn up. So I refer to him as Ninja Brian all the way through. How you doing, Ninja Brian? Fantastic. So
well, the big 2-0 though, like we made it to 20 episodes. Excellent.
Thank you, Brian, for turning up to such a landmark episode. As you can see, listeners, with your psychic vision.
Just for the the listeners' point of view here, we instead of Brian, what we've got is, and this leads into Jamie's next topic. What we've got is Peter Davison on the front cover of the collector's edition.
Yeah.
Doctor Who
Peter Davison
is
actually sat where Brian is usually. So it's kind of looking at us both.
Yeah, he is. He's got. I don't know what would you call that look on Peter Davidson's face there. Sort of maybe not awestruck, interested.
It's got a look of somebody who doesn't know how he feels.
Yeah.
For those who want to know what look we're trying to describe, it's a Doctor Who collection season 19. Now, how do you describe that?
I honestly don't know.
No, more importantly, now, we've only ever seen 2 Davison episodes, haven't we?
Yeah, so far.
What is that he's holding in his hand? It looks like a star.
It looks like a star. It's a blue star with gold trim.
Does he have a pin, usually?
I don't think so.
I don't think he has a blue star pin, does he?
It's quite interesting in this case because he's not wearing the standard decorative vegetable,
like celery.
It looks like he's wearing some sort of flower on the front.
It looks like wild flower, doesn't it?
Yeah, or maybe wild celery.
It's a really good cover, though.
Yeah.
Just to fill you in on why I have it here. So, when we started releasing Doctor Who collection, I missed the first one, which was the Tom Baker one. I missed it, and it's worth a lot of money now, £500. Yeah. So I made a point of buying the rest of them in the hopes that one day I'll find that first one at a reasonable price. I'll probably pay about £200 for it, if I'm quite honest, Lewis.
Yeah.
And if I find it, I'll be able to buy it. But collecting the rest of them.
Yeah.
We're not releasing order, Lewis, by the way.
Yeah, no, I realised that when I was looking for the first one and I couldn't find it.
So currently I have a complete set. We've only released 2 so far. Yeah. Tom Baker's season 18, I think, and it's his final season, I think, and this one, Peter Davison, season 19. Mm-hmm. I've ordered the other 2. Sean... What's his name? I can't remember.
Pertwee.
Yeah, Sean Pertwee.
It's not Sean. It's John. Isn't it?
I was thinking of his son.
You were thinking of his son, yeah. Who plays
Alfred in Gotham?
Yeah.
But this season 19 online, it's going for like £100-120. So second hand, but in computer exchange, they'll sell it for a nice £48.50. Yeah. So I went and purchased it.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of the time in those shops, they don't realise what they have, so they sell it a lot cheaper than it's.
And they sell Tom Baker's first season for an extraordinary amount. I think we do know what they have. I think we just missed the mark on this point because after they'd rung up the purchase and I'd paid, and I said, this is going for like £100+ online, and he goes, "Oh." Oops. and I said to him, I wonder who's in charge of pricing these, and he goes, "Well, I priced this one." And then we both looked online, because I think he wanted to see if he was going to get fired or not from Computer Exchange. We looked online to see how much this box set is actually going for on the website. £150, and he priced it at 48.
Brilliant.
There's a reason why I waited for him to take the purchase before I told him this.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's hoping nobody returns this. Don't worry, dude. I'm not returning it, because if it's faulty, I've got a sealed one at home, and I would just sell that one and just pretend it's in full working order.
Well, yeah. Do you know that if you have the discs or something, you are legally allowed to make a copy of it? So you are. Yeah. You would be allowed to download this and make a copy. It actually states on Windows, on any Windows disc that you might buy for a computer, to make a copy of the OS.
That's our own licensing agreement, though. With BBC, it says you're not permitted to make copies. And it actually specifically says that. When you purchase it, this is like physical, digital. You're not purchasing the Blu-ray. You don't actually own that. You're purchasing a license to view it.
Yeah,
and that's just the way you view it.
I suppose that's the way the BBC work in all in all, because the American listeners may not know. I think we may have mentioned it on previous shows, but you have to pay a TV license to be able to view anything that the BBC do.
Yeah, I was watching Young Sheldon yesterday, and he goes, "This is good TV. This TV is free." And I was like thinking, "Who has free TV?" and it was like complaining, saying, "But I want cable. You want cable? You can go pay for it." It's like, I pay for 4 channels. Don't you think that's scandalous? We technically still pay for 3 channels.
Well, no.
Well, 5 channels.
We don't actually just pay for the 5 channels anymore. We do actually have maybe, I think it's 200 channels now.
Half of which are shopping channels
half
after
of
7
p.m. Yeah, exactly. You do get a lot of that, but we have more channels on terrestrial TV than we used to have. But me and Jamie growing up, you would only have 4 channels, and 5 channels. You would get channel 5 if you were good at witchcraft, which usually involved sacrifice.
Yeah, I sacrificed my younger sister. Actually, so I was actually one of the few people that was actually able to get channel 5 crisp clear. Yeah.
Oh.
Unless it was windy, because what I had to do was, as metal coat hangers, I had to unravel the metal coat hangers, and I slid it through my window, and I pointed it upwards, so it's going towards the roof. And I had a couple more coat hangers making a chain going up, and I managed to latch it onto the guttering at the top with the hook of the hanger. So I made a massive aerial, and I was able to get channel 5.
Witchcraft, as I said.
Yeah, unless it was windy. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
I think in the entire time before digital television, it was still analogue, I managed to get Channel 5 once or twice and watch half a show each time.
Well, you wasn't missing. There was nothing good on there.
Yeah.
I got Channel 5 for street cred, and that was it. Okay, you got Channel 5, you got street cred. You got the God complex. So, before we don't want to ramble on too much, so we'll move on to the first topic, voting in the TARDIS, where we look at the best David Tennant episodes. Now, if you remember last week, we did take some suggestions from our co-hosts and listeners. The options were Silence in the Library, Blink, Doomsday, Girl in the Fireplace. Now, out of those 4, which would you say is your favourite?
I would say it's close between Silence in the Library or Blink, but it in my case, Silence in the Library definitely wins out.
Because it started what would be the greatest saga in Doctor Who. Yeah. And it went on for so long, and you just got more mind bending and more mind bending. A lot of people, it's like, it was just so good. We're gonna go on to bring it up again later on, because it just pops up all the time. But in the Matt, we may discuss the best Matt Smith episodes. So obviously Blink won at 40%, Silence in the Library at 30%. I mean, there was a massive drop. It was very close between Silence in the Library and Blink, to be fair.
Yeah.
Girl in the Fireplace 19%, and then Doomsday 11%.
I think it's sort of going up in steps there. So you got 11%, 19%. So increments of 10 almost. 11%, 19%, 30%. 40%. If you switch 1% over to from Doomsday to Fireplace, then
I think one day what we do is we do a poll, and it'll be a single poll that runs across for a couple of weeks, where we'll sort of, we can only do 4 options at a time, but if we do all the companions and sort of like have them only the top 2 of the 4 survive for the next poll and see who the ultimate companion is.
That would
and
be...
you'll be so upset when it's Rose.
so have like a 2-week thing going on where you've got 4 companions, 16 contestants, 4 companions, 4 polls.
Have you ever heard of March Madness?
No.
You look at March Madness. March Madness is like a massive polling thing on just online in general, where we just do everything. Like Star Wars doing a list every single Star Wars character.
Yeah.
Disney do one where we do every single Disney character. BBC do one for all the Doctor Who, for all the Doctors and all the companions. It's every year. March Madness is crazy, and we're going to do one on Whoopi and Whoniverse at one point as well. So we've got 3 comments. Let's get your Serbian accent, since that's the only one you can do. If we get French, it's a French Serbian. So
I can do a Scouse accent, I think.
You can do a Scouse.
That's not a Scouse accent. He makes it's a Scouse accent, yeah.
Whoa! Can I have my TV back?
Calm down, eh?
Okay, so we got a first comment from Gallifrey of Old.
Gallifrey of Old. That's a very nice name. Right. Okay. What are we going with?
You're going for Scouse.
Am I going for Scouse?
I'd like to see you do this one in Scouse.
Yeah, probably not. Human nature. Oh wait. Waters of Mars. Damn it. Utopia. Midnight.
Midnight was a good episode, actually.
Yeah.
I should have put Midnight on there. That's one. It's got one of my favourite. I think my favourite episodes are the ones where the Doctor's useless.
Yeah.
We got the next one from RT Phillips 66. I wonder if it's Russell T Phillips.
RT Phillips 66. Okay. Hard to choose.
It is actually hard to choose. I just misspelled it.
Yeah, hard to choose. Okay, so hard to choose.
Come on, you can do this.
But Silence in the Library got me hooked on Doctor Who.
Do you want to try again? Come on, from the
Hard
top.
to choose. But Silence in the Library got me hooked on Doctor Who.
Oh, it's beautiful. This is probably one of your best accents.
Is it?
It's up there with your Serbian, man.
I think me and my sister used to do this when we were younger because we thought it was funny, but...
You and your sister did each other, that's gross.
That's horrible, Jamie.
So we've got @_Kirby Lloyd.
Family friendly, please, Jamie. Nah, if you don't think this is the most iconic moment, then you're wrong. Post gif of Doctor Who and Rose on the opposite side of the wall.
They end up crying.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
I don't think I agree with that, but there you go.
what would you say is the most iconic moment of the Tennant?
Of Tennant?
Yeah, other than I don't want to go.
Yeah, that's got to be massively iconic. Him ramping up about being from the constellation of
and with Doctor, 904 years old, and from the constellation of Cerberus from the planet Gallifrey, and the last of the Time Lords land, and what stands between you and 6 billion lives below is me. You got a problem with that?
Yeah.
It's probably the best. It's probably his best moment. When it comes to speeches don't really come into Doctor until Matt Smith though.
Yeah, possibly when as well when the Doctor's all shriveled and planet Earth is getting taken over by what they're called, the
Silurians.
No, the heads in the Spaceballs.
The what?
They're called it begins with a T or something. The Master brings them about, and they're like human beings from the end of the universe.
Oh, I know what you mean, but I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah,
I do need to rewatch Tennant's.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've watched Tennant, to be fair.
They're all on Netflix as well, anyway.
Yeah, I've been watching some of them, but I'm dealing with Capaldi at the moment. I'm rewatching Capaldi.
Capaldi is actually a lot better the second time round. I think because we were on such a high from Matt Smith.
Yeah.
But obviously it's not as good, but the writing is still incredible. Yeah. The stories are still incredible. You know what? I give Clara too much
jib.
Too much. She was actually really good.
I know. I like Clara as a character,
I mean, she's not as good as Amy and Rory, but then again, it's just like,
you're yearning for what was.
It's like someone gives you 20 pancakes. I'm like, come again tomorrow for more pancakes. Someone will give you 10 pancakes. It's like still awesome pancakes. It's just less of them.
Why are you giving me? Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. It took me so long because of how let's face it, I was in love with Matt Smith. Because of my love for Matt Smith's Doctor and Amy and Rory,
like people say, Capaldi was let down by a bad writing. He really wasn't.
No.
It just wasn't as good writing.
It wasn't,
but it was still amazing.
It's not just that; it was a completely different flavour to Matt Smith's silly and half, a completely jokey Doctor, where Capaldi's Doctor was more serious and more furrowed and
angry.
Yeah.
Which brings me on to the next topic, actually. Topic of the Who cast. What are the best Matt Smith episodes? Now, I have written a synopsis.
Yeah.
Matt Smith is the Doctor that took us from the noughties into the tens. Matt Smith gives us 44 episodes of Doctor Who, including the 50th anniversary special, 4 Christmas specials, and many news agencies, including the Daily Telegraph, Winter and Record, to say that Matt Smith's portrayal of the Doctor was the best since Tom Baker redefined the role. This is partly due to Matt Smith being given more free rein on how he portrayed the character, unlike Tennant, who was forced to use an English accent. So Capaldi was the first one that could go full Scottish.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Scotland, and I can really complain.
I think since since sort of Capaldi's era, they've been more open to not having it so Doctor Who be so London centric. We seen Capaldi use an angry Scotsman. I'm an angry Scotsman, and I'm sure he says something like that at one point. And then you've got the Yorkshire Doctor. Obviously, she's from Sheffield. I tried to do a Scottish accent with Yorkshire.
She's from Huddersfield.
Is she from Huddersfield?
Yeah, the reason it's set in Sheffield is because that's where Chris Chibnall attended university.
To be fair,
this came up in your news.
Yeah, I know it did.
Yeah, but we have some suggestions. So I put the word out. What sort of episodes would we want to see for the best of Matt Smith's episodes? And before I list them out, I've just noticed that
why is Demon's Run not on there?
We'll come back to that.
On the list. It should be on the list, or is it?
We'll come back to that. Okay. Now, have you noticed that Tennant's episodes were more like description? Silence in the library, girl in the fireplace. Okay, so what's it about? Girl in the fireplace. That's a good title.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Anyway, so we've got Pandorica Opens, The 11th Hour, Vincent and the Doctor, The Impossible Astronaut, The Angels Take Manhattan, Amy's Choice.
All good.
Yeah. One person wrote, definitely loved the God Complex, classically running through corridors and picking them off one by one type of storyline. Very hard to make a choice between Asylum of the Daleks is also brilliant, except excellent introduction of Clara / Oswin. So what episode did you want, Lewis?
What is it? Demon's Run.
Demon's Run. Which one was that?
Yeah, it was the one where the Doctor finally finds out that Amy's not there. She's a pile of gooey flesh.
Oh, right.
And he goes to war. And it's built up. It's built up by.
Oh, she was a doppelganger.
Yeah. It's built up over. I think it's something like 5 episodes. There's 5 episodes in between her becoming and the culmination of those episodes being Demon's Run, and it's an absolute excellent episode. And the line in it, Demon's Run, it's called, the place is called Demon's Run that they're going to, and it's Demon's Run when a good man goes to war. Such a brilliant line.
We can definitely put that one in. Demon's Run.
Demon's Run.
And definitely one I want in there is Pandorica Opens, which has... Yeah. It's just a great episode all the way through. It reintroduces Rory. You find out it's been waiting 2,000 years for Amy to come back.
Yeah.
It's got an amazing speech where it's like, here I am, no weapons, no plan of escape.
That is amazing. That probably one of my favourite speeches in the entire of Doctor Who.
Well, it's up there. It's not quite there. Rings of Akaton has the best speech. No, it actually does though. It actually does have the best speech. It might not be the best episode, and I agree with Brian there. But Rings of Akaton has the best
Brian
speech.
hates the Rings of Akaton.
Can I say I left Rings of Akaton off the list.
Yeah.
But people did mention it. It did pop up a lot. It's one of the more how, like I always say, it's more like a filler episode.
Yeah.
It's a world building exercise for sort of like Clara's still a new character. We're trying to introduce her into the world, seeing how she reacts. You get a bit of history on the universe and how it was created, and we also get a bit of history on the Doctor and how he feels.
I think Smith's journey as the Doctor is completely is completely cast as this as how of what the Doctor feels. It's more to do with how the Doctor feels about what he's done and how he's done it. Like throughout his.
There's a theory floating around actually. Before we get back on topic, but in New Who, each Doctor is based off of one of the 7 stages of grief.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like happiness, anger. So Capaldi would be anger, and then there's acceptance, which you'd say is Matt Smith.
Yeah.
I'd say his acceptance.
Denial, more like.
I'd say Tennant's denial.
Tennant's denial.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
So, we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it in a future episode. Actually, I did bring it briefly once before, but we never went proper in depth into it.
Yeah.
But there is a theory floating around that that all New Who were all based on the 7 stages of grief.
So where would Whittaker's Doctor fall into this?
Mental. I don't know. I'll have to actually look up the stages of grief as well because I can't remember them.
Well, we haven't really seen too much of Whittaker, so we can't judge. But it'd be good to have a look into that and see.
But I'd definitely put down Capaldi as anger. Every day.
Oh yeah, he's definitely an angry.
It's either Capaldi or Eccleston.
Yeah.
So back on topic. For what we're gonna use for the next poll. So you want Demons Run? I want Pandorica Opens.
All right, so that's 2, and we've got a list of then.
Brian, what do you think?
Oh, Brian's not here, so he can't think anything.
All right, so Rings of Akaton. Now, Amy's Choice is a good episode. The one with the Dream Doctor.
Oh yeah.
That was a good episode, but I'm not too sure if it was.
I don't think it'd land that well.
I'll tell you what is a really good episode though. The Impossible Astronaut.
The Impossible Astronaut. Yeah. Just run me through it again. I think I know which episode it is.
It's the one where the Doctor's wife goes and shoots the Doctor in front of his wife, who's next to her mum, who's also pregnant with his wife.
Yeah, time paradox.
But before his wedding.
No. This one, it was a really good episode. Yeah, you're right. And that should definitely go in there.
Impossible Astronaut. Throw that on there. And so the next one, you know how I always say I don't like how reliant Doctor Who can sometimes be on the technology that's around them. So, for example, we need our Sonic, we need the TARDIS, and we're always using something to sort of move the episode along. Just need a device to help the Doctor out rather than using his old noggin. Noggin is slang for brain, by the way, for the American peeps. A brain is something that's in your head, by the way. I know about your education system. Anyway, so the 11th hour is an episode where he uses neither his sonic screwdriver or the TARDIS. It's just him. And it even gets to a point where he says, "Now, what are you doing? What am I going? Oh yeah, gonna call them back." And he goes, "Oi, you! What are you doing over here? Is this planet a threat to the Atraxi?" "No." "And were there any invaders before you?" And it brings up old clips of Doctor Who of the Daleks and Cybermen marching. And then he goes, "And who do you think stopped them?" He goes, "Do do 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 do."
Music.
Fun fact: that track is called "I Am the Doctor."
Yeah.
And then he steps forward through the projection. He goes, "I'm a doctor." Basically, run. Nice. That's probably one of the best moments. Oh, Matt Smith had so many moments. He was the speech doctor though, wasn't he?
He really was.
Yeah, he always had the long dialogues, the long monologues. So the 11th hour.
There's so many episodes.
Do you agree with that?
I'd give it the 11th hour. But there's so many episodes with Matt Smith because his story arcs were the best that modern Who has
and
had.
You know what? No matter what happens, someone's going to be upset about we missed
They
something.
they totally are. You know, and, well, to be fair, Tennant is the more loved Doctor in Doctor Who, though. You know, like so.
I beg to differ. Actually, I think if we ever put up a poll,
Did we do a poll at one point?
a long time ago, but that's before we had the whole poll thing going around.
Yeah.
You know, whereas it's before it was expected, so we didn't really pay too much attention to it.
Yeah.
But I think if we put a poll up between Tennant, Smith, Eccleston, and Capaldi, I think Matt Smith would win.
No, I don't think so. I think Tennant would win.
It's one we've done before, so we'll probably revisit it in the new year anyway. So it's a long ways away.
Yeah.
So we got Demon's Run, the 11th hour, the Pandorica opens. Need one more. We could go with that listener suggestion.
What's that?
Where he says the God Complex.
The God Complex.
Definitely love the God Complex. Classic running through corridors, picking them off one by one type of storyline. Very hard to make a choice, but Asylum of Daleks is also brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna see. The problem is that I don't remember the names of every episode.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like Image Choice. I remember the episode. I didn't remember the title, but now I remember it. Like it was the one with the Dream Doctor, and they couldn't remember if they were awake or asleep. Vincent and the Doctor's a very popular one with Vincent Van Gogh.
Right, so the God Complex to me, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I can see the charm of the episode, and
is that the one with handles?
No, the God Complex. That's Town Called Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the season finale.
No, he was in one before that in the Planet that's an amusement park.
Yeah.
No, he plays chess.
That was excellent. That one where the Cybermen are taking over Matt Smith.
Yeah.
That was possibly one of the best episodes.
What's it called?
I don't know, but Warwick Davis is in it as well.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And it was who wrote it?
That's the God Complex where they're sat in they're in that hotel that they can't leave where it's got. You know,
oh yeah, I remember. I'm trying to remember who wrote that episode now as well. Was it Neil Gaiman?
I think it looks like one. It was Neil Gaiman.
It was Neil Gaiman, wasn't it?
Very, very Neil Gaiman.
I tell you what then, because we're both stuck and we can't remember what the episode is called. So I'll look it up after the podcast.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. So Pandorica opens, the 11th hour, Demon's Run, and the one with the amusement park.
One. Yep, sounds good to me.
Yep. So that brings us on to our next topic of the show. Nuvian News Network. Hit it, Lewis.
Right, okay.
Do you want a theme song?
No. Here we go. So
he's got his sticky notes out.
Hello and welcome to the Nuvian Who's Network. We become
where's your confidence gone, man?
We become a late night smoking channel, and here we go. So there's a few one-liners in this, and then we'll go on to something that with a bit more substance. So Jodie Whittaker was in a series called Trust Me, where she played a doctor or a surgeon, I believe, who didn't have any medical experience. She just sort of falls into the role.
When was this?
This was before she was the Doctor.
So is it a bit like Capaldi was in World War Z, and he played a character called the Doctor at the institution called Who?
No.
The World Health Organization.
I don't think that Whittaker was pegged for the role before that. Because of how male dominated it was.
They considered a female role. For the Doctor when Eccleston took up the role.
Really?
Yeah, they actually planned on relaunching it with a woman at one point, and they went against it.
Yeah.
So I think it would.
So
work
yeah,
for the lady.
Trust Me, in the new series, obviously no Jodie Whittaker because she's gone on to do Doctor Who. There are there are Doctor Who references throughout the show. For instance, some of the characters may have Doctor Who paraphernalia in the background.
So is this... Sorry to interrupt. Where is this show? Is it a BBC show?
Yeah, it's a BBC show. But the thing is, the show now is being cancelled. It's being cancelled, and they're pegging this
copyright. I knew it.
they're pegging this basically on the poor ratings, but they reckon that the ratings have dropped because of Whittaker's exit from the show.
I mean, I'm not saying that it isn't the reason. I'm saying if the writing was good enough, wouldn't that be? Because everyone's going to come back for the first episode where she isn't there anyway. And you think they'd create a compelling story that would convince them to stay?
I'm not too sure. I haven't seen the show myself. It is something that I'm going to have a look at. It's possibly on Netflix by now, since they're on second season. If not, I'll have a look online, see if I can watch an episode or two.
Might be worth a watch.
Yeah, we can review it in some way on the show. Just a few words about our experience of Trust Me. So they are pegging Whittaker's exit from the show as quite pivotal.
Yeah.
Stop stroking Davison.
Sorry, Davison. It's okay.
He doesn't need stroking. Okay.
Okay.
He's Brian standing. Would you stroke Brian like that? It's more of a caress than a stroke.
Well,
for the listeners out there.
I mean, I always found Brian's very he guides me in how he wants to be stroked, so he feels comforted. So therapy.
I think if anything else, if nothing else, I'll watch Trust Me for the Doctor Who references.
Yeah.
Here, there, and everywhere. Right. So let's have a look here. Next item is Matt Smith. Matt Smith he's quite a popular actor at the moment. He's getting the roles.
He was in The Crown.
So he's currently I think.
Bald. Did he have a haircut?
No, he's actually grown it out.
Wow.
I know he's grown it shoulder length now.
Really?
Yeah. Well, unless he was wearing a wig, but it didn't look like a wig.
So is he playing a Tudor character?
No, he's playing Charles Manson, the notorious cult leader.
Ooh.
Charles Manson. So, from what I've read about the film,
Whovian's a cult, so
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, but we're not the cult leaders, so we're okay. Join us. Exterminate. I don't know.
Where is that doctor?
I suppose the BBC would have to be the leaders of the Doctor Who cult. But yeah, he's playing Charles Manson, and from what I was reading, it focuses mainly around the 3 women that committed murders for Manson in the cult. It focuses around the effects of brainwashing the cult, imposed upon these 3 women, and how these relatively normal women went on to commit horrific acts and then wake up fully to the fact of what they've done in prison years later. Yeah.
So when does that air? Do we know?
It didn't say. It didn't give any details on when it might be on. It's possibly going to air on a streaming platform like Netflix or something like that.
It's still currently being recorded then.
I think basically there is a clip. There is a clip, and if you do want to watch it, you can find it on YouTube.
Okay.
But there's no airing date as of yet. Really?
I think about you all the time.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, you, me, Peter Davison.
Well, he can just sit there and watch.
Well, that's all he's been doing throughout the entire show so far. He's just sat there. Maybe he's not. Maybe he is actually just a cover on a Blu-ray case.
Maybe he is. I don't know.
Doctor Who The Collection, season 19. Oh my
god. The Master looks fairly happy on that.
Back to the news.
Okay. So, right. So yeah, that was part of it, and The next bit is for the American listeners out there. We've got some good news about Classic Who here.
Because it's Americans. Classic is spelled Classic. Again, right. I know because I know about your education system. So. Carry on, Liz.
Right. Okay. So in the Classic, so basically, there's a company out there who's streaming free Classic Who in the US. From Hartnell's, this is from Hartnell's debut to McCoy's last episode. Now, it's called Pluto TV, and it works slightly differently from a normal TV streaming service.
Yeah.
I say slightly differently. It's like
it's kind of like Twitch. You have to go in there if it's on. It's on. You can't rewind it. Rewatch.
Well, you can't rewind it and rewatch, but it works sort of like normal television.
Except on the internet.
It's on, yeah, exactly.
So think Twitch, but Doctor Who.
It's on at a specific time.
So it's like video game streaming.
Yeah, it's on at a specific time, and if you don't make that time, you can't rewatch it. Maybe they'll air it at another time as well. But they have got there's many channels on Pluto TV, and they have got one channel dedicated only to classic Doctor Who.
Oh my goodness, that's so cool.
And it'll start from the beginning, as I say, of Hartnell's episodes and end up on McCoy's final episode. Now, this is going to be free to all Americans and those who will use a VPN. Yeah, VPN in the UK.
Illegal, but carry on, yeah.
Yeah, illegal, but carry on. So if you are in the UK, you can still take advantage of this service. You just need to use a VPN server to mask yourself as an American citizen. So the American government may...
So you start talking like this all the time?
Yeah, the American...
Hey, I'm walking here!
just watch out for the CIA.
Oh, by the way, FBI, if you're listening to this podcast, we say everything in jest. We're not actually going to illegally pirate a show that was made in my own bloody country.
So, there's only one other little slice of news here, and that is, I don't know if I'll pronounce this name right, but Portia Lawrence Mavera played Kelsey Hooper in the Sarah Jane Adventures. She has recently been caught and charged. Not currently charged.
Sarah Jane?
She was playing... No.
That was Elizabeth Sladen.
Yeah, no, but she played Kelsey Hooper, not Sarah Jane.
Okay.
She in the Sarah Jane Adventures.
Sorry, I missed that.
Re-listen to that part of the podcast when you get home and just, you'll hear what I'm saying.
And realise how stupid I am.
Exactly. Okay, so she's been... So she's been arrested on suspicion of dealing cocaine and heroin. She denies all charges. There we go.
Well,
she was.
I guess technically you're not supplying if you just use it all. I mean, slightly off topic, but the Alison. Did you ever watch Smallville?
Some, but not all.
Right, so you know that the IT girl, the blonde one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's going to prison.
Is she?
Yeah, possibly life.
For
leading a sex cult.
Excellent.
Selling women into slavery.
Holy hell!
And we were talking to the cast, like saying, "How could you not know?" And we're like, "We didn't know." But the thing is, the things she was talking about during recording of the show, it's making so much sense.
Well, yeah, people like that, they seem normal.
Everyone feels like we dodged a bullet now. I'm like, what?
They seem normal, nobody's going to admit to you that they've started some sort of a cult and they sell women into slavery like that. However, okay. However, it comes out years later and there you go.
Yeah. So... is that it for the news anyway?
I think so. I think I had one other thing that I didn't write down, so, you're not getting that. Sorry, people.
Yeah, so just for the listeners at home, there has been some announcements about the Doctor Who, the collection, and in the future, Lewis will be letting us know about the new announcements of Doctor Who, the collection, when they will be released, when they're available for pre-order, and where and how much.
Yeah, cheers for that, Jeremy. I will. I'll try my best to keep up with it.
Yeah, it's one of the important ones anyway.
Yeah.
So that brings on to our next section, history lesson, without Brian. So I've got the DVD with me. We watched The Five Doctors.
We did indeed.
We call it The Five Doctors very loosely.
Well, I've got some information about this, and we'll go into detail once we start talking about it. But basically, I got this information while researching a different topic entirely.
Oh, that's convenient, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
So, Doctor Who, The Five Doctors, starring Peter Davison, John Pertwee, Patrick Troughton, and Richard Hurndall, with Tom Baker and William Hartnell. The Doctor's past incarnations are being snatched out of time and space and transported to a death zone on Gallifrey. Mm-hmm. Man, the classic Who was so metal, wasn't it?
It really was. We love it for that. No.
Where they are reunited with some old friends and pitted against their deadliest enemies in the game of Resilion. Someone is manipulating the Doctor and his companions in order to claim the most ancient and powerful secret of the Time Lords. But can they survive the challenge and uncover the traitor before it is too late? Now, that's the description.
Now read it in the In a World voice.
In a world where the Doctor's past incarnations are being snatched out of time and space. Now, that description sounds very hogwash, doesn't it? Like, the way I write Universal Hogwash, I always write, can the Doctor save everyone before it's too late? And it sounds like it's so fake, because who would write that in a description? You think someone's gone to all that effort to write an episode, and then they have to write, can the Doctor save him before it's too late? I'm like, it's not Batman 66, you know, same bad time, same bad channel. And so I think it's implied because it's Doctor Who. So I always include it in there just to throw you both off, because sometimes it's actually just a classic Who story.
Yeah.
So you've got some thoughts.
I definitely do. Yeah.
Any time now. Yeah.
It was an interesting concept, you know. Like, I like the idea of all the Doctors being, and in fact, I'd love to see. I don't know how you do it, you know, probably with CGI these days, you know, as it looks pretty fantastic. But I'd love to see all the Doctors, all 13 of them, in one show at one point, you know, like.
Technically, they were all in the 50th anniversary edition.
Yeah.
Not all 12 of them,
but only archive footage, you know. So, I just think that it wasn't executed very well. I think there was too much going on to tell a coherent storyline in the way it was told. I believe that, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic to see all the Doctors there, you know, minus Hartnell.
He was in there, right in the beginning.
Yeah, but it was archive footage again. I like the concept more than the reality of this one, just because I believe that there was too much going on and not enough storytelling for each individual Doctor. And even though Davidson is the main focus, because it is his story. It is his story. I don't think they focus on Davison enough, you know, to be fair.
I think it's because we used 5 Doctors, whereas in the 50th anniversary, it was, cause that was our first introduction to anniversary.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched them previously. It was 2 Doctors.
Yeah.
And a kind of third.
Yeah.
And I think
a Doctor that
story-wise, that's easier to handle, isn't it? Whereas if they did another anniversary, they won't do Eccleston, so it will be Tennant, Smith, Capaldi, and Whittaker. So that's 4 Doctors.
But I think that's the thing, you know, like, they did 50th anniversary quite well because all the Doctors are in one place at one time, where you're coming from these Doctors from 5 different angles. They're all going to the same place, you know.
Yeah.
And what is it? Tom Baker is mysteriously lost in the time vortex.
A different way to look at it is all 4 of the Doctors are going to the same destination, but you're seeing how each incarnation approaches that same task in a different way.
Yeah. Which
I think is really good storytelling. So, like, you know, Pertwee's Doctor, he's a driver's more of the action Doctor.
Yeah.
He drives to the top of a mountain, throws a rope over, he zip lines over like James Bond.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, but you know, you've got, they all had different approaches to how they did it. You know, William, you know, Hartnell's Doctor, you know, they took a stealth approach.
Yeah.
You know, so it's it was more of this is
more
how
of a thought out. Let's, you know.
I thought the way we didn't all need. I thought we all got a good amount of screen time. Obviously, the most is going to go towards Davison because it's.
But even then, I don't think
it's his tenure as the Doctor. He deserves the most screen time.
I didn't think he got he got as much screen time and storytelling, you know, because he was the one who was left out of how do you get into the Tower of Rassilon.
He actually did the negotiations. He found out who was the traitor.
Yeah.
And he didn't even kill anyone. He just given them to an immortality of torture.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really good. I wrote a little synopsis. I'll just read it out really quickly. I found this episode to be the most entertaining. However, I found it to be a rather misleading title. The Five Doctors doesn't exactly ring true to Tom Baker not actually appearing in the episode other than using previously unseen footage from a previous episode.
Yeah.
Now, we spent most of the time watching Tom Baker on screen going, oh yeah, that's the Doctor. Yeah. Oh, what's happening there? It's alright. Keep giving him screen time so we can mention him in the credits. A more leading title will be 4.5 Doctors. They didn't really need to use Tom Baker at all, really. It would have been cool for Tom Baker to die and then see how Peter Davison's Doctor would have coped having lost his memories of the fourth incarnation.
Yeah.
So imagine if in the canon he didn't actually survive. I mean, all the previous Doctors, they can't actually remember that incarnation.
But the problem with that is that Peter Davison's Doctor wouldn't exist without Tom Baker's Doctor.
Yeah, but he only loses his memories.
Really? Does he?
Yeah, that's what it said.
Yeah, I thought that it was making him fade away at one point in the show.
If all his incarnations left, which is what happened. That's when he started fading away. But then he joined her and he went solid again.
Ah, right. Okay, I see.
So I think if just Tom Baker went away, and then he lost those memories, and for every future incarnation, can't remember the adventures he took as a long scarf hero.
Yeah,
that would be such an interesting way to do it. But and get rid of Tom Baker for not coming back for the anniversary. That's payback.
Yeah,
not only does no one remember you, we've actually retconned you out of the Whoniverse. And you're like, damn you, BBC!
We've erased you from everything, Tom.
Overall, the episode was very strong, with a great storyline that delves further into the history of the Time Lords, which is very enjoyable. I actually really did enjoy the history.
Yeah, that aspect of it. I felt that there could have been something more in there, because the idea that the Time Lords weren't always this benevolent race, like I'd like to know more about that. I'd like to see, and I'm sure within like Davison's seasons, there's probably a lot more about that, and possibly in seasons before it.
I love when they introduced the president of Gallifrey, and he goes, "You've just regenerated. Was your regeneration?" Making it very clear to the viewers that there was a regeneration prior to the episode of the president. And he goes, "My regeneration went very well, thank you. I feel so regenerated. Good. Now that your regeneration is over, maybe you can generate some some results." And I was like, "Oh my god. Okay, I get it. He regenerated. I don't care anymore." You only had to say it once.
Yeah.
But there it was over and over again.
I liked the little robot thing. It wasn't the...
That was K9.
What? No. K9 was like in it for one scene and one scene only.
Like, take me with you.
Yeah, and that was when Sarah Jane went off to to meet up with the Third Doctor, Second Doctor, Third Doctor.
Why would you accuse a robot of lying?
Yeah. No idea.
Does it have a consciousness? I thought it was just a program and.
K9. Well, it's definitely sentient, isn't it? Because he can move on his own and speak.
If I kick it, do you think it'll feel sad?
Possibly.
Sad K9.
It probably doesn't have any pain sensors, but I'm sure it'd feel used in some way or another.
It was weird seeing the First Doctor run so fast at some points, despite being Asian and with it. And there's points in the episode where he can barely stand without his cane.
Yeah.
A plot hole? Or is it just a plot device to put the Doctor in jeopardy?
Well,
He literally sprinted at one point. Like, I'm 28.
Yeah.
29. I can't remember how old I am. 32? And I can't even sprint that fast.
Hartnell's character was always quite withered and weak, in many of the episodes that I've seen.
Maybe he's bipolar when it comes to his feet, So sometimes his Sometimes it's spry, sometimes it's fly, you know.
Possibly a mistake they've made in this episode, because when you're trying to sort of infuse an actor with the acting methods of another actor, or the a character.
Yeah, he never really held on his lapels, did he?
No, he didn't. That was he did in a couple of maybe one scene actually while he was in the TARDIS. But I mean, William Hartnell would have just been stood there the entire time.
Considering how much younger he is than the other Doctors, he still called him all my boy.
Yeah. But it wasn't like Hartnell that I found myself sort of like longing for Hartnell to come out and just, but he's already dead and buried by this point.
I like how Peter Davison, he said, just give him his scotch. He'll get very anti if he doesn't get his scotch.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I'm not like that anymore.
Yeah, there's no like in the newer episode with Capaldi and David
Tennant.
No, not Tennant. The guy who played the first Doctor in Hartnell's character in the newest episode, Twice Upon a Time.
Yes, I'm thinking
David B. It begins with B. I did a news report on this guy at one point.
I keep thinking David Walsh.
Argus Filch in Harry Potter.
Yeah, I know who you mean. David Bradley. Yeah.
That's the one. I believe Bradley did a much better job of playing the first Doctor than Richard Herndale, was it?
I think it's because acting's improved so much.
It has, yeah, definitely. And the calibre of actor on, it is much better than it used to be.
You need to remember, a lot of the actors you see on, especially in the before the 90s, a lot of those actors and actresses, they started acting very late in their life.
Yeah.
Whereas actors and actresses we have right now, for all child actors, every single one, you look them all up, they all started when they were like 15. Yeah. Like max 15. Sometimes even younger, like Ben in Friends. He's still acting right now. He's in Riverdale.
Oh yeah.
He's never stopped. His entire life has been acting.
Yeah.
So like the quality of acting has improved vastly. And if you look at the Doctor Who actors then and compare them to how they're acting now, they actually act even better now. But the thing is, it's just a product of its time. I doubt he'd been acting that very long, or even serious. Doctor Who was, for a lot of actors, it was their first serious gig.
Yeah.
And back then, it wasn't to be taken very seriously either.
So, what I was going to say about the Tom Baker situation, you hinted on it earlier, or you in what you were saying there about the 4.5 Doctors. The footage you see of Tom Baker in that episode is from in the 5 Doctors is from an episode that would have aired, but due to strikes in the 1970s, I'm going to say, yes, due to strikes in the 1970s in Britain, Doctor Who went on a forced hiatus for a year, and when it came back, the episode Strata, which was, I want to say, the last episode that Douglas Adams wrote.
Okay.
It was canned, even though they'd done quite a few of the scenes for it.
Oh, so it's actually not finished.
This is the thing. More recently, it has been. And not only that, but they got Tom Baker to come and play the role years, this long after the...
Wait, so is that, what, live action?
Yes, live action.
No way!
Yeah, honestly.
How recent is this?
I think it's within the last couple of years that this was... And this is what I was researching. I was researching this episode when I found out that the scenes in the 5 Doctors were actually the canned footage. Some of the canned footage.
Oh my goodness! I had
from
no
that
idea.
Episode. I really want to see this episode now, and I was reading about it only last night, in fact. And
I'll have to see if it's in my Doctor Who collection that I'm compiling, because I'm going to do a product for Who of the one I've got at home as well.
There's got to be some sort of, all I can think is there's got to be some sort of aging or time warp on the Doctor, because when Tom Baker comes back...
Well, here's the thing, on my Doctor Who the collection. I think it's 18 for Tom Baker. Inside, there's an image of Tom Baker's Doctor, but he's like really old.
Yeah, like he looks today.
Like how he looks today, just him.
Yeah,
and it's like he's got longer hair. And he just looks really old and withered.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's what they used.
Yeah, I mean...
Maybe something happened that caused him to go old and he had to spend the rest of the episode old and they just reorganised it.
Yeah, possibly.
I really want to see this episode.
Which would be excellent, because that episode would have been 40 years in the making, 40 years. And for it to be written by such an acclaimed writer as well, it's going to be good. I actually read some of the plot line of it, so I could run you through a little bit of it quickly, but... Yeah. I mean, we could save that for another day.
No, run for it. Whilst you're doing that, can you message Brian and ask him what our next episode is, because he hasn't told us?
Yeah.
So just message him really quickly.
Yeah, so basically the episode sent us...
If you can't multitask, I'll talk to him about Doctor Who the collection, I'll go over the back of the box.
Yeah, okay, no worries.
Okay, so we've got Doctor Who the collection, season 19, special edition. It doesn't say special edition on the box, because Lewis... we don't need it spelling out for us. We're not Americans. So, Doctor Who The Collection, Season 19. Build your own Doctor Who archive with the Ultimate Collector's set in progress. What will really annoy me is when they've released all the seasons, if they do one massive set and you can buy them all at once. I'll probably go and buy them again, actually, to be fair. The Fifth Doctor's classic first season, all 26 episodes, newly restored for Blu-ray, packed with bonus material. Castrovalva, Far to Doomsday, Kinda, The Visitation, Black Orchid, Earthshock, and Time Flight. Now, I don't know if they have stories or if that's just bonus material. Now, have they the stories? I don't know if...
It sounds like the stories.
Yeah. If only our historian was here. Yes. You've seen how many discs are in this box.
Yeah, there are 7, 8... maybe.
The thing is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 different stories here. Yeah, for all stories.
They're going to be HD though, like in full HD, because the Blu-ray, so they take up a lot of disc.
They'll be upscaled because they weren't recorded in HD, were they?
Yeah, no, they weren't.
Now, with brand new special features including Peter Davison in conversation, a candid 1 hour interview with Fifth Doctor. Now, for Americans, candid means natural, so it likely wasn't scripted. It was just sort of just relaxed and chilled. 5 new making of documentaries. We got this for Castrovalva, Far to Doomsday, Black Orchid. Also, we have stories. Behind the Sofa, classic clips viewed by Peter Davison, Sarah Sutton, Janet Fielding, Matthew Waterhouse, Mark Stricken, and Sophie Aldred. Immersive 5.1 surround sound mixes for Kinda and Earthshock. Exclusive extended episode of Black Orchid Part 1. Exclusive studio recording tapes, raw studio footage from Castrovalva, Far to Doomsday, Earthshock, and Time Flight, and optional updated special effects for Castrovalva. So we've actually gone over some of the previous episodes and updated these special effects. I'm really looking forward to watching this, and Brian will very soon no longer have to lend me the DVDs.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Brian's not getting back to my text, so we don't currently know what the history lesson is. So about the story Strada, I think that's how you pronounce it. Could be wrong.
Strada.
It
was in Universal Hogwash at one point, and you got it wrong. Carry
on. So. Basically, it centres around an old Time Lord who has, for the past 300 years, taken up residence on Earth as his retirement.
Who retires on Earth?
Yeah, there's many more planets in the galaxy to retire upon.
There are 10 million particles in the universe that we can observe. Your mama took the ugly ones and put them into one nerd.
That's nice, Jamie.
Thank you.
So moving on. The story starts when this Time Lord is actually a professor at, I believe, Cambridge.
Really? That's convenient.
Yeah, exactly. So the story starts when one of the professor's students takes accidentally takes a book from the professor's library. The book is something on Gallifreyan law. The student quickly recognises that this language is like nothing ever before seen on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Little does he know. But he then with some of his student friends tries to translate it.
Okay.
The storyline that goes that the book has some sort of power, or there's some sort of knowledge that nobody should know in this book, and the retired time
just a law book, but go on.
And the retired Time Lord is none other than Time Lord. No, than a Time Lord supervillain from way back in the day. The Doctor's childhood hero.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me no more.
Okay, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
We're getting spoiled. I don't want to know anymore.
Yeah. No, it sounds really good.
I'm so amped.
It sounds so good.
It could be a film.
I was reading this last night, and I got up to this part, and I was like, I could read on. You know, I did read a little bit more, but then I was like, no, I really want to see this.
It's called Strada.
I think it's Strada or Sharda or something like that. You know,
Vashta Narada. Yeah.
Possibly where they got it from, you know. Brian's still not getting back to us, by the way, folks. When Brian's not on the podcast, Brian doesn't think about the podcast.
Brian doesn't care about the podcast. Jamie and Lewis are thinking about his future in the podcast. Yeah, let's ditch him. We're going to drop Brian. Man, you know, I'm pretty certain it's got to a point now where if you Googled his name, you could probably find the podcast.
If you Google
your name as well.
If you Google your name, I know you can find the podcast.
But it's because I've been on the internet a long time. I've been promoting my own name for years now. So if I couldn't find myself just by googling my own name, I'd be very disappointed. No, it's fine anyway. We don't want any spoilers for Strada.
It's Sharda.
I want to see it so bad.
Yeah, no, me too. I think a couple of times, from what I was reading, it was nearly picked up by Big Finish, but I'm glad it wasn't, because it wound up being actually made.
Well, to be fair, there's a lot of cases where Big Finish pick up an episode, but then BBC pick it up again and they turn it into an animation.
Yeah.
So it does happen. So, how would we rate this? So we rate it Doctors out of 5?
Yeah. Doctors out of 5 then it is.
Yeah?
Doctors out of 4.5.
It's going to be 4.5 out of 5 Doctors actually for me.
Is it?
Just purely based on the fact that you didn't need Tom Baker in there. The rest of the story was great. I just felt like there was so much wasted potential by the way they did Tom Baker.
Fair enough. Yeah, understood. I would say I give it 3.5. 3.5 Doctors.
3.5?
Yeah, as I say, I just think that there wasn't too much focus on any one Doctor, and I think it was a bit too higgledy-piggledy for my liking.
That's fair enough. So that's the end of Who's Story and the end of the show.
Quite right. We seem to be doing so much better without Brian.
Indeed, Lewis. It's not like he is on Twitter at Beach007. You can find me on Watson's Musings on Twitter. Or you can follow Lewis in real life.
Please don't. You can follow me on Twitter too.
Well, what is your Twitter?
Elbrook14 at Elbrook14.
Allegedly. You have been listening to Whovian Whoniverse. Have a week!
And Batman said, sorry, we don't serve time.
I'm sorry, I'm Batman.
And Batman. I'm Batman.
I'm the barman.
You totally threw me off with this end bit after have a week. And the barman said, sorry, we don't serve Time Lords here. The Doctor walks into a bar.
Oh, okay. That's very funny, Lewis. Did you call about yourself?
I get it. It's to do with the way, cause and effect, reverse in Doctor Who.
It's just a time travel.
Cause and effect, reverse cause and
It's
effect.
time travel. He just did it in reverse. It's just the joke is just in reverse.
But it's cause and effect.
Reverse.
Reverse the TARDIS's engines.
You've been listening to Whovian Whoniverse. Have a week.